Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available.
What the heck? That's how we're gonna podcast about the Bassmaster Classic, is by calling and having him not answer. All right, we're gonna try a third time. If Nate doesn't answer now, we're just gonna kick him off the podcast.
Hello?
Yellow?
Y'all there?
Dude, amateur hour, dude. I tried to call you like 3 times, and this last time it wasn't connected to the soundboard, and I'm sorry, dude. Welcome to Tackling Tacos.
What's going on?
What is, as the children these days say, what is crack-a-lacking? Do kids say that still, or is that a thing?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think they do.
Ah, dang it. I've always wanted to be that dad who's real cool and says slang words. You know, I don't want to like glaze the younger generation, as they say. Anyway, so welcome to Tackling Tacos. This is going to be a quick one, but it'd be stupid, honestly. Even though everybody else has done it, is doing it, whatever, it'd be stupid to not talk about the Bassmaster Classic, or as I like to call it, like they used to call it back in the day, the Bassmasters Classic. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I like the Bassmasters Classic.
Anytime you hear, you know, Bobby Murray or Rick Clunn or old boys, you hear them talk about the Classic. They don't say the Bassmaster; they say the Bassmasters Classic, which is just doesn't phonetically sound good, like Bassmasters Classic, whatever. But it's still, that's old school, so I'm gonna go with it. So let's walk through it, Nate. Even though, like I said, everybody's already talked about it and whatever. And I'm gonna say something right out of the giddy. Nate and I are just going to give kind of like, you know, 1 or 2 predictions, who we think could do well, who we think could win. We'll talk about the lake just a little bit. I'm sure most people know about the Tennessee River and all that. You know, it's a TVA lake, obviously, in the Knoxville. If you're from that area, you do not say Knoxville, you say Knoxville, but in the Knoxville area, and what they can fish, what they can't. So kind of a surprise Tackling Tacos, just brief little deal, and obviously it kicks off this weekend, so we're going to launch this right away. I'll probably do it on Thursday. Nate, I want to put you on something real quick. You ready?
What you got? Go ahead. Hit me with it.
All right, so one of my favorite seasonings, and it's a cheap one, which is great, dude, because, you know, why not?
Everything's expensive nowadays,
I mean, if you go to like the hardware store, if you go to a place like Shields or somewhere that sells Yoders and Traegers and what, like the seasonings, like a regular little size, you know, like a whatever you call it, like a 10-ounce seasoning, is like $20, and I'm like, why, dude? Like, I know that didn't cost you $20 to make that. Anyway, also, Nate, you saw your first Yoder this weekend. What'd you think?
I did. Incredible.
Crazy.
I was surprised by quite a few features of that thing.
Yeah.
Most of which was the price. That one really got me.
Yeah, $4,000 for a grill. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But no, it's just I mean, kind of, I don't know. I think you've said it before. It's just, you know, it's a pellet grill, but it's just done way better than every other pellet grill. Like,
Every single thing about it is better than every other single pellet grill out there. And I love my Traeger. And, you know, there's sort of this like vibe around Traegers, like, oh, they're expensive. They are nothing compared to a Yoder in terms of quality, build, even just the quality of materials they use, like the gauge of steel that they use on. I mean, they're you hear this little phrase kind of thrown around, but it's true. They're like tanks. They're like tanks as a smoker. I mean, they're just tough as nails. They look awesome. Big wheels, cool colors, good features. You can do open fire on it. You can do smoking, of course, grilling. They are nasty.
Yeah, they're really sick. They kind of got that squarish, boxy kind of look to them, to where they almost look like a tank too.
Yeah, no, they really do. Yeah, they're filthy, man. But anywho, so there's this brand of seasoning I like. It's called the Fire and Smoke Society. You heard of it, Nate?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so they sell it at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Walmart. Nothing wrong with getting some seasonings at Walmart. And one of my favorites that they make, and you might not like it, but it doesn't really taste like what it's called. It's called onion butter. Have you had that one?
I have not.
It doesn't taste like onions.
I have heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid good. Like, my kids love it. Like, we put it on popcorn, pizza, steaks, like eggs, whatever. Because, like, even if you're not an onion fan, onion salt is good. So onion butter, it's like buttery salt with like some herbs, and it's stupid good. Anyway, I want to put you on my newest favorite one by Fire and Smoke Society. I brought it down right here. I don't know if you can hear that on the mic. I brought it down to the little studio, and it's called Texas Hickory. Texas Hickory Barbecue Rub. The logo is dope. It's like a little happy-looking piece of hickory wood with a cowboy hat on saying howdy. My guess is he doesn't realize he's about to be lit on fire and used to smoke meat. But anyway, it's like an orange color, kind of like a Texas Go UT. Kind of like a burnt orange color. And it's real simply garlic and then smoked salt. And there's some other stuff in there. Like most people like to put paprika on their barbecue for color, or if you're doing like a real long cook, like on a butt roast or a brisket, that paprika will help with your bark a little bit. Like that crust you get on the outside, which is just the absolute best. But anyway, Texas Hickory by Fire and Smoke Society. Anybody listening to this, Nate, you got to look it up. It's cheap, it's super tasty, and it is super quickly become my go-to for everything. Steaks, ribs, butt roast, whatever it is. It's so good. So you got to try that. I just wanted to bring that up because I saw it when I was coming downstairs.
I'll check it out for sure. I do like, I think we've gotten a couple of their seasonings before, but yeah, I'll definitely check that one out. They do make, I don't know if I've posted before or not, they make a dope, like, taco meat seasoning that I've gotten a couple of times. That's actually pretty dang good. Yeah,
and like I said, it's affordable, which is great, dude. Like, why not? And yeah, I mean, you see on the little seasoning shaker, smoked salt and garlic, like, yeah, that's going in the cart. And it's dope.
For sure.
Yeah, it's dope. So, all right, so let's talk about the Tennessee River. They're fishing on the Tennessee River system around Knoxville, and then specifically, and if you've watched the Classic at all, like the last one that was there in 23, right? Isn't that when Gussie won?
Yep, 23, yeah.
23, which the pessimistic side of me is like, come on, dude. Like, you can't find any other place to host like 55 anglers or 60 or whatever it is to have a big tournament. Like, and I know that areas pay to have the Classic brought in, but I just don't like that. Like, go somewhere else. Like, you were there 3 years ago. Anyway, and that's no hate on the Tennessee River whatsoever, or Knoxville, or anything. I would like to see a little more variance. You know what I'm saying? Do you agree, or am I just being a turd?
No, I agree with that. I think I don't have an issue with like going to different venues or going to the same venues, but it does seem like these are a little bit too tight together.
Yeah, 3 years.
But, yeah. And I mean, that kind of feels like the same thing. Like with next year going back to Hartwell.
Yep.
Like they've just been.
I thought so. Yeah, and they did the big announcement video, and like Ronnie Moore's like, "Oh, they're going back." Like, why? Like nobody's pumped about that. And it's not that Hartwell's lame, or there's Hartwell and Lake Fork and Gunnersville and Okeechobee, and there's a million lakes around that are just so good, and you want to go back to them. But like, what if the Super Bowl, which is what they call the Bassmaster Classic, the Super Bowl of bass fishing, what if they just did like a 3-year loop? This year it's in Miami, and then it's in Las Vegas, and then it's in Seattle, and then we're going back to Miami. People will be like, wait, what? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And obviously that doesn't play near the role that going back to the same fishery does, but whatever. Anyway, so the specifics is, Fort Loudon and then Tellico are really like the two big pools, big bodies of water that people fish. They have about 30,000 acres of fishable water open to them. Fort Loudon is generally known, and this is a river system, so this can flip overnight, of course, but Fort Loudon is generally known for a little more stained water. Tellico is generally a little more clear water, and then the lakes are connected by a canal system, and the anglers can run, kind of back and forth between them. There are all three species of black bass. I guess that's not all three because there's other ones, but we don't have to talk. But there's largemouth, smallmouth, and spots in there. Most people didn't think that this derby on this body of water could be won on smallmouth because the legal size limit on smallmouth there is, what is it, Nate? 18 inches or something?
Yeah, I want to say 18 inches.
It's really high.
Yeah.
So if you're going to try and win on small jaws, you have to get into a wolf pack of giant small jaws, even just to have a chance, which is what Gussie did in 2023. He won by just catching big ones. And really, he's kind of the dude, love it or hate it, that kind of propelled moping, Cindy rigging, jig head minnow to the forefront. You know, these suspended fish that used to be like, oh no, now it's like, oh yes. And I know it was around before that, but it really took off, really got more popular. People really had to kind of look at it then. So they can fish upstream until the I-40 bridge on the Holston River, and then the Highway 168 bridge on the French Broad River. They can't lock through those dams to get to other lakes. The big thing here, and I feel like this is said almost every classic, at least since they've kind of changed dates on them, like as far as time of year, the big thing here is you don't really know yet, and obviously you can watch some videos and socials and whatever, but you don't really know because it is sort of like an hour by hour thing. If the fish are going to be moved up pre-spawn, if they're going to be staging where they're not quite up shallow yet. And so that's going to be a big, big dictator in how this thing plays out. And that's always really interesting to me because you just can't, no matter what as an angler, you can't plan on it till you're on it, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, that was well said and awesome details on the Tennessee River for sure, especially in that area.
Yeah,
so.
30,000 acres. I mean, they can find something to fish, but it all depends on where the fish are going to be at.
Yeah, that is. I mean, definitely could fish super big, or could fish tight like it did 3 years ago, where it seems like they were all kind of ganged up in a few different areas. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I know it sounds stupid. It sounds obvious and kind of silly for me to say, oh, it depends on where the fish are. Well, duh. Like, obviously. But it just does, and it's just one of those deals you don't know because it could change overnight. It could temperature, there's a lot of things at play, moon phase, air pressure. There's a lot of things that come into play on whether the fish are moving up, not moving up, if some of them start, if some of them don't, if they're all over the map, you just don't know. And so let's go through, Nate, and just do a couple who we think are going to win. And what I will say is that I picked this dude who I'm about to say to win a while back. And then I looked at Bassmasters.com, and he was like the number one dude on the page. And I was like, dang it, because I didn't really want to do like the predictable one.
Right.
But if there was ever a dude who was on a tear, and it wasn't even necessarily in Bassmaster, but on the NPFL, which is fishing, obviously, and it's NPFL, National Professional Fishing League, is sans forward-facing sonar, so you could argue that it makes it a little harder, and he's still absolutely wrecking shop over there. And I just think he's so good. I just think he's versatile. I don't always love how he tucks his shirt into his pants, but it's funny. And the dude can just flat out catch him. So my prediction to win the Classic, and again, I hate to do the obvious one, and I didn't really know it was going to be that obvious until I saw the Bassmaster, post about it. But my pick is Patrick Walters. He's just too good. He can fish in just about every type of way. He's good with electronics. He's smart, and I think he's a really, really good decision maker. Like he's good at connecting dots and being okay. They're over there. I got to go over there. That kind of thing. And so that's my prediction. Who do you got, Nate? And then I'm going to say one more that's not really a dark horse, but somebody else who I think could and I would like to see win, but it kind of depends. Go ahead.
Yeah, just I would say my number one pick of the 50, I think it's like 55, 56.
Yeah, I think it's 56. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think they were saying it's kind of the most anglers that they've had in quite a while. But my pick is going to be Brandon Polinick.
Yeah, I like that.
I think he's fished enough classics now. I think this will be like his 14th classic that he's fished.
So crazy.
Just wild to think. And he's just so consistent. He's always towards the top, except for in 23 when they were there, he finished 48th. But back in the day, the first time they went in 2019, he finished 10th. That was a much tighter classic, bigger weights, some bigger names back in I guess more common names back in 19 before the split or right kind of at
right, yeah, right at it, yeah.
He got 10th in that one, so I don't know. I feel like he's due. I mean, he's won everything but that. I think this is the one.
Yeah, I don't think anybody
Definitely
who knows
a smallmouth
fishing
catcher too.
He is. He's versatile as heck, and anybody who knows fishing is not going to argue. You could say, "Hey, they found a lake on the moon. We're going to have a bass tournament." And you'd be like, "I'm going Polinick," and nobody would argue.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like he's just that good, and kind of the same thing I said about Patrick Walters. Polinick is an intelligent man. He's very sharp. He's very kind of cerebral. He's in his brain, but not in his brain like I get sometimes where you just kind of like spin yourself out mentally. Like he's in his brain like, you know, Rain Man or like A Beautiful Mind stuff. What's that movie with Matt Damon? Good Will Hunting. He's like that. So yes, I think he could, if he won, nobody who knows bass fishing would be surprised, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I feel that's pretty spot on.
Yeah. So, all right, I'll give you my second one. And this one, I would love to see happen just because he's just like the most likable dude on earth. And if you ever have the opportunity, and we were lucky enough to connect with him through the podcast, and then, you know, we've just kind of texted a bunch here and there. He was going to stay at my house last year, and then I ended up moving. Whoops-a-daisy. But that's John Cox. One of the most likable dudes on earth. And if the weather goes, if it ends up being a shallow water derb, like if they do move up, you know, all bets are off because he can put an absolute freaking hurt on them. That dude could pack like 3 frit sides in a box and just for the whole tournament and just go out there and wreck shop. And now he's in like that, you know, started off last year with it, but now he's in that faster boat than he used to be in. Now he's in that Vexus. I don't know. I could absolutely see things turning just enough and he goes to town. What do you think?
Yeah, no, that's a really good pick. Man, like you said, he's just such a versatile angler. Dude can catch him any way he wants to.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they're moving shallow or headed up to spawn or something like that, man, that's definitely a dude to watch out for. So I think that's an awesome pick.
Yeah. What do you got?
My second pick is going to be a guy that's kind of solely based on his history of the area and the fishery, and that's Brandon Lester.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but you say it and it's like, oh yeah, sure. Yep. Yeah,
Brandon Lester's the Tennessee guy. This is his 10th Classic. He finished 6th in 23. He finished 6th in 19. And then just even last year, he finished 7th on Forks. I mean,
was that what he ended up last year?
Yeah,
7th?
7th last year on Forks there. And, well, yeah, where was it? Fort Worth. So, what was it, Ray Roberts or whatever it was?
Yeah, Ray Roberts, yep.
Yeah, so, finished 7th last year, 6th in 23 on the Tennessee River there, and then 6th again in 19. I mean, the dude's got some numbers, got some accolades behind his name. Tennessee guy, really, known in the area. I think it's kind
he's
of
really good.
He's just that. Yeah, he's a hammer. I feel like this is kind of like he's kind of like the Yacht Defoe of this year's Classic.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
When not, it's kind of the one runaway favorite,
and then did it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel like this could be that Brandon Lester type of deal.
And another very likable human.
Oh yeah, awesome dude.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's just wrap it up there. I didn't want to take too long. Just kind of our quick take on the Classic. We're at like 20 minutes. So, you got anything else you want to say, or you want to hop off?
No, man. I'm excited, man.
Me too. I can't wait to watch it.
I cannot wait to get some screen time behind the old phone while that works. Dig into this Classic.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be good no matter what. And the thing is too is like there's a lot of people too who have been predicting Trey McKinney because he's just been kind of on a tear. I think he was 2nd last year, right, to Easton.
Yeah, I think so.
And the kid can fish. And the funny thing is, I always say on here, like, leave the kid alone. Just because he grew up and his parents had some money doesn't mean he's, a less than human. But I also get why, like, some people think he's kind of annoying. He kind of talks weird, and now he's got a goatee, like he's a youth pastor from 2012. It's whatever, though. Like, no matter what you think about him, no matter if you like him, don't like him, whatever, dude can fish. Like, dude can
Dude,
flat out
absolutely
catch them,
catch 'em.
and he can catch
No
them in a
doubt.
whole bunch of type of ways. So, you know, he just spent so much time on the water. One of my favorite snowboarders, his name is Zeb Powell. He's a professional snowboarder. He's actually on Jordan, like Jordan brand shoes, which is crazy. And when he was younger, he was adopted, and his parents were not poor. And they actually sent him to a ski and snowboard high school out on the East Coast. And a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, but that's not fair, blah, blah. I'm like, why is that not fair? If you wanted to snowboard and your parents could afford to put you on the hill every single day, you'd be super good too. If Trey McKinney's parents could like get him a dope boat and get him out there going like more often, there ain't nothing to be mad about. It's just like, dang, he's doing it. So is he my favorite fisherman? Absolutely not. But I don't really get the hate for him either, and I could definitely see him doing well. He's just sort of always like, you know, he's already won a couple derbs with the Big Blue Trophy, and he's always just kind of sniffing around. He's like a hungry dog at the dinner table. Like, he's just kind of always in the mix, you know what I mean? So you can't count him out. Lee Livesey, I could see him doing well. You know, a lot of people thought he'd do better than he did last year, but who knows? That's my call. Patrick Walters, John Cox, Nate's going with Brandon Polinick and Brandon Lester. Are you going double Brandons?
I guess we are going double Brandon.
Double Brandos. Okay. Well, that's it, y'all. We appreciate you guys. Don't forget about the 1,000 subscriber giveaway on YouTube. All you got to do is share the post with the giveaway graphic. I'll post it again. And then show us that you're a subscriber on YouTube, either in the comments or a message, and you're in, like Flynn, $1,000 plus worth of stuff. A name will be picked at random. It'll be shipped to your door. TacklingTacos.com. Positivity is worth the effort. To all the anglers in the classic, good luck, be safe, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.